Hello and welcome, Silva here, and today I'm going to bring you guys the second episode of learning how to gather in Albion Online. Now, as you can see, currently I am in 61,000 fame out of, well, 500,000 for our gathering tier 5. And right now we are on our way to, well, for a gathering session. So I've managed to get that much fame from my very first stream. So again, if you guys want to check out my progress on Twitch, I'll be leaving it down in the description. Now, without further ado, let's go for our gathering session. So I'll see you guys at the spot. Okay, so we are here at our gathering spot, and as you can see, there's plenty of fibers to be harvested right here. So I'm going to be popping our very first pork pie, and now we're going to be starting the session. Hello guys, I just want to stop the video for a little bit because I want to tell you about some very important and juicy information regarding what is the best place to be gathering in Albion Online. I'm going to be going over each specific profession, so it doesn't matter whether you're a fiber harvester, a woodcutter, or a stone cutter, you're going to know exactly what is the best spot for you. Now, if you look over on the map of Albion, we can see that there's different cities, obviously, on the map. And what we need to be aware of is, depending on whatever resource you gather, you want to be looking for a specific city. Each city has two zones inside them, a blue and a red zone, that contains a high density of minerals or resources that are bunched up together, which means it is the best location to gather. Now let's take a look at Thetford, for example, which is the city you want to be in case you are a fiber harvester. For these two zones, we have the Dewley Fen, which is a blue zone containing materials that are between tier 2 and tier 4, and we also have the red zone, which is called Stumprot Swamp, containing tier 4 to tier 6 resources. Now, in order to identify these locations, the only thing that you need to do is have a look on the map. As you can see, there's a little icon with a bunch of flowers, which if you click on it, it will tell you that there's a high concentration of that resource in there. So that applies obviously to stones, to ores, and to woods as well. Obviously, they're going to have a little icon representing it, so obviously it won't be the exact same thing as this one. Now, if we click on this location, on this zone, we can see on the minimap that there's a little hemp on there. This hemp signifies that the closer you are to it, the more resources you will have bunched up together. So the middle of this is the exact prime location that you want to be in and gathering. You're going to find so many hemps that you won't be able to gather it, unless obviously there's going to be other gatherers in there. Now, obviously, we have already gone over the zones in Thetford for fiber, so these are the best places you want to be at. And now let's have a look at stone, which is situated in Martlock. So in Martlock, you have Saddle Tor as for the blue zone, and it's indicated by this icon over here. And as you can see, the closer you are to this little icon on here, the closer you're going to see, well, the more bunched up together you will see the resources on the location. As for the red zone, you have Mardale, which has the tier 4 to tier 6 resources in case you're already a little bit higher up on the tiers. And if you don't know about these, the grindiest part about gathering is tier 5 and tier 6. Once you get to tier 7, it is much easier to level up to tier 8. So this is the main grind part of the game, well, of gathering in general. So as for Bridgewatch, it is the place to go if you're a skinner. In Steelhide Meadow, you're going to find a high density of animals in there to skin. And on Dead Vein Gully, you're going to find a high density of animals between tier 4 and tier 6 to skin. If you're a woodcutter, the place that you want to go for as a beginner is Oak Copse, which you're going to find low tier resources between tier 2 and tier 4. And if you're already more advanced, then you can start going to Long Timber Glen, which is actually quite close to Fort Sterling if you want to be situated there instead. And again, you can find resources between tier 4 and tier 6. As for ore, this is located in Fort Sterling. So you have Pengarn as the blue zone, and you have Malakravaz for the red zone. Again, all of these cities have between tier 2 and tier 4 for the blue zones, and between tier 4 and tier 6 for the red zones. Now, things that you have to bear in mind, you can find these locations also in black zones, but they're heavily controlled by guilds in the game. So if you're a solo player and you don't really belong to a massive guild, I will just stick to these places. And obviously, there's also going to be a high density of gatherers on there, so you want to be there at times where there's not so much people playing the game. Whenever the server restarts, also all of those resources are going to be reset, so it's the best time to be gathering in there. However, gankers will know about this, so be careful not to be killed if you're on any of the red zones in there. So that was pretty much everything I want to talk about in this little section, so let's go back to the video.
Anticipation, the twilight fuels the intoxication, no hesitation, I'm giving into this sweet sensation. I've been good, I've been bad, but this moment is all we...
Okay, so 15 minutes have just passed. I'm just looking at my minimap. We got 6 people on there that are flagged. Now I just want to have a quick peek at our fame that we got. So we had 61,000 and now we have 69,000 something. Also, you can have a look at the inventory that I have right now. So this is how much I've been gathering in this amount of time. Now just bear in mind that we obviously found a dead body with some resources laying around. So part of it is actually not from our gathering, but the XP that we got, it is a true reflection of our gathering. Okay, so I've just been gathering for another 15 minutes, a total of half an hour. Yeah, this is how much I got in resources, but just bear in mind I was gathering a little bit more than half an hour than that. But our XP is at 80,000 right now, which is really good because we are on our way to tier 6 once we hit 20%. Whoa, sorry to get in the middle of your video like that. Well, I just have some information that I learned since the last video. So I had a comment from Swatter. Thank you very much for your comment. I had some information that I didn't know about, and that's why I want to talk to you guys about this. Now, not only did he comment that on regarding the trashing the items that I mentioned on the last video, actually when you trash an item and you immediately get killed by a player, there's a 3-minute cooldown between to the item to actually disappear, which was apparently confirmed by a SBI forum post on there. So thank you very much. I didn't know about this. And also he mentioned about some mounts which are very good for gathering as well. And on the last video I just said to take out an armored horse, which, you know, it is a very good mount, especially if you're a beginner and you don't have a lot of money. But I think I should be doing other honorable mentions in case you want to spend a little bit more. So I've made this convenient chart that's going to tell you what is the best mount for you, and well, I'm going to be putting it in the video right now, and then you can stop the video and we're going to discuss it for a little bit. So now that we have the chart in front of us, well, as you can see, if you're comfortable with spending a lot of money and potentially losing it, get a Saddle Wild Boar because it is by far the best mount, since it has a lot of carry capacity, which actually you don't lose even if the mount is unsummoned or you get dismounted. So this way you'll be able to stay in black and red zones for way longer compared to any other mount. It also has a very big health pool and it has very sweet CC resistances compared to any of the other mounts. Now obviously it is a bit expensive, so you should be considering if it is worth for you the perks that this mount gives you compared to the money that you usually make. If this is not the case, well, if you're the cheapest of the cheapest and the poorest person in Albion, well, as you can see, just buy a tier 5 armored horse, and otherwise you can have a look at some options. So the Giant Stag gives you a little bit of that weight perk and you'll be able to travel around it, but it's a bit vulnerable to being dismounted because it doesn't have a very big health pool, and also it is not quite as fast as the other mounts. Now the Swiftclaw, it is the absolute fastest speed out of them all, so if you just want to be speed, well, that's the one that you want. The Armored Horse has a lot of armor and the same health pool as the Riding Horse, so if your horse gets attacked, it will last longer before you get dismounted, so that's why it is in the I want to be safer section. Now the Riding Horse has the same pool as the Armored Horse and has a little bit of the perks of everything, so it has a little bit of extra weight It is the same speed as the armored horse, but it doesn't have resistances that the armored horse does. But the armored horse doesn't give you the extra weight. So this is how you should decide for yourself what is the best mount for you. So yeah, that was pretty much it. So let's go back. Okay, our pork pie is about to run out. We are at 84,000 fame. We didn't make much this time around because we were kind of busy looking at the map and yeah, trying not to die in general, but we're on a good path. So we got in this session so far about 20 to 25,000 fame, which is excellent. And we do have the 25% buff because of the Halloween event, but might as well take it since it's there. There's 5 people ganking right now. And there's 10 people on the roads. Oh yeah, and this is how much I have right now in my inventory. And as you can see, the mount does carry a lot of stuff. Even though we have all of this, we're still only at 35%, which, you know, it makes for a very long gathering session.
Want to see me in this way tomorrow is another day when I can let go of everything I've ever dreamed and follow my heart. Can't you see going round in circles? Oh, then it seems forever lost 'cause you're a different person. You don't want to see me in this way. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day.
So we made 25,000 fame. Unfortunately, we died, but that was badly played by me. I didn't have time to mount up. I just wish my mount trashed, and as much as possible trashed so they don't get as much stuff, but oh well. Okay, let's go back to buying the gear. Unfortunately, we did die back there, but it is part of the game. I'm just gonna be stopping the video for now, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, well, just leave it a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.